Lori, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a project with two 21-inch mesh. It's going to be patriotic themed and it's going to be really fun. So this 21-inch method is a push-through method. I'm sure you've seen this on the video I did with all 10-inch mesh, but you can also do it with 21-inch mesh. Some of us have a lot of it left over, so it's a great idea to have the same methods we can use on either mesh. So we're going to be using a Dollar Tree frame because it is the easiest to push your mesh through. Okay, so we have a 21-inch mesh that is red and white, so I thought that would be super cute for the red and white stripes. And we have a royal blue for the blue portion. So you're going to need at least one mesh, don't have to use two, and a Dollar Tree frame. You're going to need a few zip ties. The zip ties just kind of hold things in place while we're working. It just makes it a little bit easier. And then you can make sure it's secured on your frame. So we're going to start with the blue. And this is a metallic deco mesh. It's really pretty. You see how pretty the blue is. And I'm going to be using my deco mesh holder. So I'm going to show you where I'm going to put my mesh. So this is my mesh holder. Okay, and I'm just going to put it right on. So you can see how easy it's going to hold it. And then I can put my other one on the second. Now it has a third row on the top. Okay, there we go. So that way, as I'm pulling it, it's going to make it a lot easier to get it off of the roll and onto my frame. So I'm going to start by just gathering the end. Just want to gather it all the way up like this. So I'm going to pull it underneath and I'm going to use one of my zip ties to tie it right across where one of these crossbars is. So right on the crossbar. You only want to do one because you want it to hold it tight. So just like this. So I'm kind of going across. There. Just like that. So remember, it's important that the mesh stays on the bottom of the frame. Alright. So I'm not going to worry too much about this. I can trim some of this off. But it's going to be hidden on the bottom. Alright. So you're not going to need another zip tie until you get to the point where you're going to stop the blue. So this is how you're going to do this. You're going to use the gather that you already made and make like, pull your hands down and make like a little straight poof. And you're going to take that and you're going to push it right through the frame. So just kind of pull it up. Just like that. Okay. So this is what you're looking for. Now you can make it as big or as small as you want. Okay, so like that. All right. So I'm going to go in the first one. Then I'm going to pull up in the second one. So see, I just pull it up. And I do kind of hold on to the first one while I pull up the second one. And then I pull up through the third. Okay. Once I get to that third row, and I'm happy with how much I have pulled out, I'll let it go, and then I'm gonna just kind of spread it out a little, like this. Okay, I don't want mine to be too tall, so maybe about 2 inches. Okay, so you just want to kind of keep it tucked in together like that, so it makes almost like a little bulb. And then I'm going to go back to the first row and push through again. So see how you can just kind of push the mesh right up, make your little ball right there. Then I'll do my second one. pull it up. You just want to make sure you get all of the mesh in there. Okay, I'm having a little trouble with this frame because if you see it has pieces kind of sticking out. You can take your pliers and trim those off. So if you have pieces sticking up, trim it off. It's going to make it easier to get through your project. There, because it's catching on those. All right, here we go. So we got the second one in. All right, we're going to do the third one. So just pull it straight up. Put your second piece in. And all I'm doing now is kind of using my hand to hold it over. So that'll keep it from coming out while I'm working on the rest. It's really not going to come out, but I just feel more secure if I have it kind of pushed back. All right, so go back to the top here. All right, so in one. Now, if you have trouble holding it, you could put a clip there. If you don't have a mesh roller like mine, you can throw it on the floor or on another table. So I'm going in each one. 1, 2, and 3. Just like this. Look how cute that is. There. All right, so back to 1. And I'm thinking we're going to need 4 in a row. So 4 sets in a row. So I just push it back up, pull it through, get my little bulb, just like that. If I have any ends, I can just take them and tuck them underneath. And then it will be all nice and neat again. Okay. Okay, here's the second one. Okay, look how cute that looks. Okay, and then the third one. So when I'm pushing it up, I do have the edges kind of under the bottom so that when I push it up, those edges are really kind of tucked underneath. You can use your finger to kind of push it through and your other hand to pull it out. Okay, just like that. So then we have our first section. Look how cute that is. And it is much fuller and thicker and a lot more vibrant than if you do it with the 10-inch, just because there's a lot more mesh, and so it's going to be really packed in there. So we have 6 sections on this. I'm thinking I want to do 2 sections with the blue and 4 sections with the red and white. So I'm just going to keep doing this exact same thing over and over. So I'll speed up through this part and then we'll go on to the red and white. Okay, so I have 4 in each section. So I'm just going to trim this off. Now, if you have any that are kind of sticking, you can just kind of push it up a little bit. Okay. And then again, I'm going to use the crossbar and I'm going to tie it down so none of my mesh will come out. Okay, I'll make sure everything looks good before I completely tie it off. It looks good. Okay. All right, now I'm going to trim this off. All right. So we're done with the blue, and we're going to be putting some little stars on here just to make it look really cute. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing with the red and white. I'm going to gather it at the end just like we did with the blue. Okay, I'll flip it over just because it's going to be a little easier because our mesh is going to be coming up through the bottom. So I want to turn it this way so that my mesh will start off in the right way. I'm going to run a zip tie. Okay, and you want to tie it underneath. Remember, you're going to be pushing the mesh up. Okay, so it's easier for me to kind of show you with it upside down like this. You do not have to do it upside down like this, but it's a little bit easier just to show you how it looks. All right. Now when I flip it back over, so you can see our mesh is underneath, right? So it's underneath the frame. And we're going to start by pushing it up through the first ring. Once you get it started, it's a little bit easier. There. So the next ones will be a lot easier to pull through. But you see we have our red and white stripes. That is so cute. So with the first one, I want to make sure all my mesh is up here. Okay, and then I can kind of pull it down and get it into the size I want. There. This mesh is going to be a little thicker because it has the snow detail in it. But like I said, once you get through the first one, it's going to be a lot easier. So just use your fingers to push up and your top fingers to pull up. Kind of like a push-pull. I see I'm missing something here. Okay. All right, so pull up, push over. Just like that. That's so cute. All right. Once you get it started, it's a lot easier to kind of pull them up. There we go. Just like that. Okay. So what I'm finding with the red and white, it is so thick that if you do something like this, you're going to want to gather it together like this and use this to push it up so that you can get it kind of all in one piece. All right, so just kind of gather it together like that and then push it straight up and pull through that way, because otherwise it's going to be difficult because it is so thick. There we go. So something that's this thick is a little bit more challenging, but honestly it's worth it. It's so cute. That. So you can see it's super easy when it's just plain mesh, but when it has something that's a lot thicker, it is going to be a little more challenging. So once you get it going, it's pretty easy. But the trick here is to keep it all together and push it up as one piece. And then it makes it a lot easier to grab it and pull it up. There we go. Like that. All right, and then you just push them over and start on the next one. There we go. See, isn't that super cute? It definitely looks like stripes. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna finish the rest of this and I'll come back, we'll do some more. Okay, so I'm at the end. I do want to tell you a couple of tricks. So with this red and white, it is so thick, it is harder to get it in. So there's a couple of different ways you can help. You can zip tie it to get it back to that little gathering. You can also twist it so that it is kind of like all together, and then you can use that to push it up through your base. So try those tricks if you're having trouble getting your mesh up, because it is a lot thicker, so it does make it harder. There, like that. So you can see there are a couple tricks you can do to kind of get it in. And you can flip it over from the back and use that way to kind of help you get it up through, because it is a little easier to see it from the bottom. There we go. Now, one thing I did find is that I did not need as much in the red sections as I did in the blue. Okay, so see how I just take it, I twist it, and then I can use that twist to push it up. That helped a lot. That made a big difference in getting it through, and then I can just kind of straighten it out, and then it looks really good. I also noticed that the middle filled up a lot faster, so I didn't do as many in the middle on the red and white as I did on the blue. So when I got to the end, I mainly did the first and the third. Okay, so twist and then push that up. Whoops. So this will be my last one on here. So it's in here pretty tight. There we go. There. Oh, that is so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it off. And I'm going to zip tie it. So remember, twist or zip tie it to get it back to a small size. Either one of those will help. Now with the regular mesh, you're really not going to have any trouble at all, but if you do tend to use something thick like I am, you want to use those tricks. All right. Look how cute that is. That is adorable. Okay, so we've gotten the whole thing done. Looks pretty neat from the back. I got some little stars and I have some little hats. I thought these stars would look super cute. Just kind of right on here. I think I'm only going to use the white ones. Like that. That's It's so cute. Okay, so I'm just gonna hot glue these on. These came from Hobby Lobby. You could also do, Hobby Lobby also has little patriotic hats. You could put little patriotic hats on it. So you would be able to get 2 of these out of one 21-inch roll of mesh, because I did not use the whole half. So just so you know that. I think you can also get the stars at the Dollar Tree. Okay, so I'm just going to get some glue on here. Just kind of glue them down. You could also use wire on here. There. So this is another way you can use your 21-inch mesh. Look how stinking cute that is. I love this. This is so cute. I love that. Okay, so you'll have to let me know what you think. And let me know if you try it out. We do have a free Facebook group. And there'll be a link in the description. So make sure to go check that out, because you can post any of the pictures of things you've done. And we all love to support each other, and it's just a great community. So make sure to check that out. All right, y'all have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.